All right. So yeah, we're going to do this, guys. This is a tiny group of creative warriors, veteran creative warriors too. What's your name? Jacob. So Jacob's a mechanical engineer, Navy veteran. So we're going to bring a whole different kind of creativity to the mix here, which is a good thing. It's going to be awesome. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you doing it. We can eat pizza while we do it. All right. So these guys have heard this before, Jacob, but I'm going to explain what we're doing here, what Imagine That is a little bit, and then we'll do it. And you can see it's a real game show because we got the sign and we got the bell, right? Right. So we do this under for COVID. The normal things, we do it in a bigger room with a crowd, and we'd have people up on stage and kind of have music and the whole thing. Now, of course, with COVID, we went online and we do it on Zoom. Getting back to doing live, slow but sure. And we love doing this setting too, the kind of classroom setting where it's not classwork, but it is a kind of way to engage yourself in this kind of smaller setting. And we talk a lot about the idea that you actually, in having fun doing this, you can learn something about creativity. You can learn something about collaboration. So that's kind of the background for all of it. But for now, we're going to do like a game. So I'm going to just jump into the game show here, and we're going to play this game. We've got a good challenge for you guys to do. So this is Imagine That. Imagine That is the game based on 3 bedrock principles of Western civilization. This is big stuff. The first is it's fun to be creative. We all know this. The second is it's fun to be part of a team. We definitely know that. And the third is it's really super fun to pass judgment on other people, especially if you could judge them anonymously behind the shield of your smartphone, right? So you know this. You've experienced all this. We've studied all this in school, and it's definitely true. So here's how it's going to work in Imagine That. All those things come into play. We're going to have you guys as creative warriors today. Normally, with more of us, we would have multiple teams. You guys team together, and you're going to engage in this creative sprint. It's a short challenge. You got to use your imagination to solve. There's no right or wrong answer. You just got to come up with a really creative answer. I'll give you the challenge. I'll give you 8 minutes. So it's quick, right? That's what I call a sprint. And that's kind of engages your brain a little different. 8 minutes to come up with your answer to the challenge. Then you're going to bring it back and you can present it. Now, normally we would have multiple teams presenting. And then what we would do is after we hear from all the teams, we use our phones to vote for which team we think did the best job. I'm going to say that today you guys are going to do the best job of any of the teams. So that's a good thing. Yeah, right? But we can still vote if we want to have fun because we see the vote on screen. It's kind of cutting edge game show technology. So that's kind of fun too. And that's how it works. And what we do it on stage is we have people in the audience who aren't competing and they're the judges and they get on stage with the contestants. We do it in a smaller setting. You play both the role of contestant and judge, right? So we do ask people to have some integrity. And when there's multiple teams, we're like, look, you can vote for yourself. If you think you did the best job, you should vote for yourself if you earned it. But, you should also be real. If you think another job, you got to vote for them. And it is interesting to see how the votes can be in balance and all that. People take their role seriously, that dual role of contestant and competitor. So that's it. Basically, you get the challenge. You come up, you got 8 minutes to come up with your answer. Then you're going to present your answer back. And in this case, just for the pride of doing it, and they'll get your brain firing in a different way. We also have a prize usually when we do it. I don't see it around here. We have this really gnarly trophy that I want Jacob to see. It's really good, but we'll find it eventually. It's put together with duct tape. It's actually the worst trophy you've ever seen in your life, but it kind of gives you pride. Yeah, it's glorious. Exactly. That's a good way of saying. All right, cool. So that's it. You guys know the rules. You got a sense of it. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you the challenge here to go. And this challenge is a fun one because it stimulates your creativity, but it's also seasonally appropriate. So we call this challenge, if I can get my thing to work, Turkey TV. So here's the idea. The holidays are here, right? We just had Halloween. Now it's Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving to me is like an interesting holiday because it's sort of doesn't have that dark kind of appeal of Halloween, and it doesn't have this over-the-top commercialism of Christmas, right? But it's kind of more introspective. It's more about gratitude and family together and kind of a nice holiday. And of course, the problem with that is a lot of people think it's lame. Let's face it, everybody wants to skip right over Thanksgiving, right? Right to Christmas and all that kind of sexy fun that we have at Christmas of giving gifts, or they want to go right to the drunken fun of New Year's Eve, right? And then Thanksgiving is like, oh, okay, whatever. Let's just get through that. So we at Imagine That, we think that's a shame. We don't think that's right. We know that Thanksgiving is actually awesome. And also, by the way, Thanksgiving is the one truly American holiday, right? So we got to give it its props for that. And I think people forget that. So we want to embrace Thanksgiving. We want to kind of give it the kind of honor it deserves. So that's where you guys come in. Your challenge is you're going to help us respect Thanksgiving, help us honor it. You're going to help us make Thanksgiving even more awesome. And how are you going to do that? You're going to do it by creating something, giving it something it doesn't have, something it deserves but had never had before, and kind of give it a new tradition that's going to make Thanksgiving even more awesome. And that is the Thanksgiving TV special. Think about it. Christmas has like a ton of TV specials. You got Rudolph and Frosty and the Grinch and all those, right? Christmas even has the Hallmark Channel. Have you guys watched the Hallmark Channel? I mean, it's a 24-hour propaganda network all about Christmas for months. And so, Thanksgiving doesn't have anything. Why does Christmas have all that? And before we go into what you're going to do in here and create the Thanksgiving special, I want to do you a service, because the Hallmark Channel is, in case you haven't had a chance to watch, here's a little gift for you. I'm going to summarize every single Hallmark Channel movie in one sentence. All right, ready? I worked on this. I'm really proud of this. Okay, Hallmark, every single Hallmark movie, it's about this. You can rediscover the meaning of Christmas and find love right in your hometown. Just takes a little bit of magic and a whole lot of Chardonnay. Right? Everyone. Right there. I'm sorry. I'm proud of it. All right, so we won't get obsessed with the Hallmark Channel, but the point is Christmas has all these things. The TV special, the TV show is a hallmark of holiday legitimacy that we think Thanksgiving deserves and hasn't had. So that's going to be your challenge. It's time for Thanksgiving to get one too. You have to come up with an all new, awesome Thanksgiving TV special, a show that's going to capture the spirit of Thanksgiving and capture the hearts of the viewers and get it become an important part of the Thanksgiving tradition. So think of it this way. You're going to get 8 minutes, going to come up with your idea for this thing. Think of it as pitching your special to the studio, right? To Paramount or to Netflix or Amazon, or really the studios now, right? You got to come in, you got to pitch your idea, and you got to get me to greenlight it. You got to get me to think, yeah, that's the one. Now, if you were competing, I'd be hearing multiple pitches from you guys on what to do. And that's how you'd earn the vote in the game today. So come up with memorable characters, come up with an amazing plot, however you want to do it, make us feel like your special is amazing, and we got to make that thing. And that special is going to become a part of Thanksgiving, the way that all these Christmas specials are a part of Christmas. And remember, you got to be creative. If you probably going to feature the Thanksgiving meal somehow in the plot of your show, it's up to you, I would imagine. But if you do, you got to come up with an interesting angle on it. Maybe you want to go all rogue on us and do Thanksgiving from the point of view of the turkey, which might be a sort of terrifying experience. I don't know. However you want to do it, that's up to you guys. But come up with a cool angle on it and pitch me your turkey TV, your Thanksgiving special that's going to be a part of our holiday going forward. Does it make sense, everybody? You know what we're doing? 8 minutes. If you want a piece of paper to write down your ideas, however you want to pitch it back to me is good. I'll put the timer on, and then we'll ring that bell and we'll get you going. All right? You ready? Okay. Go. Imagine that. Well, I heard some creativity going on there. That's good. That's a good thing. I heard when you're making yourselves laugh about your concept, that's usually a good sign. It means you can make others laugh or get into it too. So that's good. All right. So how did it work? You seem like you jumped right in. Did you jump right into ideas immediately? Were there ideas flowing? Yeah. That's what it sounded like from a distance. Did you find you had a lot of different ideas you had to sift through, or did you kind of coalesce on something pretty quick? A concept. I'm going to hear your concept in a minute, but I'm curious about the process. Yeah, you did kind of, and then you sort of said, okay, let's do this. The last thing I want to hear before I hear it is, did you end up, what you're going to pitch me on here, was it a kind of combination of some different ideas that you threaded together? Yeah, that's kind of what I thought I heard. And that's interesting. It wasn't like, hey, here's the concept, let's all pursue this. It's like, hey, we get this, you had the, hey, but if we bring that piece in here? That's good. All right, good. All right. So I want you to come up here. It can be one, more of you, however you want to do it. But I want to hear your pitch. Get me excited. If I'm the studio guy, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna produce that show. We're gonna have the first Thanksgiving holiday special. Yay!
Thank you.
All right. Well, let's hear it.
Yes, I am. So of course, we would have a little storyboard of it. A storyboard, storyboard of it, little synopsis.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Okay, so our title of our TV special is called The Race to Eat Gumbo.
The Race to Eat Gumbo. I'm intrigued already.
And gumbo is the town turkey.
Nice. All right.
Gumbo is a turkey.
Yes.
I like it.
So our show is animated, and It is going to be animated kind of Dr. Seuss style. We have multiple families that live in one cul-de-sac that are all trying to get the same turkey. So it's going to involve several different challenges with each family that are all trying to get turkey, and they're all trying to get gumbo, the one turkey in town. Oh, and so we have several families. So we decided that Clooney is definitely going to be one of the dads, and Reba McEntire is going to be one of the moms. Ryan Reynolds is going to be one of the other dads, and Jennifer Lawrence, just because, you know, it's silly and it's kind of a Thanksgiving show about gumbo turkeys.
These are voices.
Yes, these are all voices. And basically, so our tagline is going to be one turkey, one town, who eats? And then you want to get the conclusion?
Yeah. So in the conclusion, all of the family, this one turkey is going to be slaughtered, and each and every individual in this particular town is going to eat the turkey. So it's like our theme is bringing the community together.
Nice. So I like that. So the idea is the race to eat gumbo. It ends up that everybody wins.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a piece of gumbo. Now, do we feel for gumbo in this at all?
No.
So gumbo, he's just a sort of defined.
Gumbo is Thanksgiving.
So I'm thinking like gumbo is this like freaked out turkey and like stressed out turkey.
Nice.
Like stressed out, like
Yeah, like the squirrel in the Ice Age. He just kind of runs around and
Love it. Yeah, that kind of manic
Yeah.
energy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And he knows he's on the verge of something that ain't.
His last corner.
All right. I love that. So that's good. And all animated, computer animated. Okay, cool. And are they? So they come together. I like what you said. They come together. Everybody. It's kind of a community sharing, and that's a very Thanksgiving message, right? So am I right to think that along the way they're kind of at each other's throats, these different families?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a turn. It's an evolution in our story that they come to appreciate each other and sit around a table because they were going at it.
Right.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like
Do
it.
it.
Let's do it. Give it a hand. That's really good.
Build it.
Can I ask you? Thank you. Go ahead, sit. I want a couple more questions. I really like it. And again, in a normal game, we'd be hearing from other teams. You guys could do one on the fly if you want. No, yeah, you're the race to eat pizza. But I really like that concept. And so let me ask you a question too. So the community thing is good, and that kind of competing thing. I like sort of the turkey he doesn't talk. He's like a stressed out animal. That's cool. I think he has a presence, but it's really a device in your story, which makes a lot of sense. No not a musical thing, right? No. Okay. That's good. Do you envision this as a half-hour show, an hour show? Which way? An hour show. Yeah. Sure. Right. Yeah, they'd be good at it. Yeah, they'd be really good. And Reba would be funny. And yeah, each family probably is having a different approach to try to get gumbo. And then ultimately they all somehow come together. I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's got sequel potential too, right? You got to think about that. We could do a challenge where we do what is the sequel. We'll get to that. That's cool. And one last question for you. Gumbo. Why the name Gumbo? Where'd that come from? Nice. Yeah, right. Yeah. Sounds like it could be a turkey's name. I don't know why, but it just does. Yeah. That's right. Right. Oh, yeah. And if you do this right, the personality, again, you've got good actors. The personality of these characters will come through. So you'll enjoy each of their pursuit, the different ways they go about it. And then somehow you bring them all together. Nice. Very good. I like it. Well done. So give you one more hand for you guys. Come on. Yeah. Okay. Well, here's where we would vote, but I don't think we need to. Let's do it by hand. Who likes a race to eat gumbo? Who likes it? Yeah. You're green lit. That's excellent. Really good. I appreciate you doing it. Yeah, it's funny to me. So I try to do challenges that are related to the So if I have a group of people from a certain company, let's say they're in healthcare, we'll do something fun and creative. Also try to do challenges related to the time of year, so holidays are great, or like the Super Bowl if it's Super Bowl time, just because people are in that mind. And I find that if there's a handle, I call it a handle, if there's something you can grab onto that's feeling in sync, you're going to be more creative. So again, if you're a group of healthcare people, I give you something healthcare related, you know what to do. It's Thanksgiving time. You probably haven't spent a lot of time thinking, but you probably all have your plans. You know what you're doing next week, and it's coming, and you kind of know what to expect. Maybe you're cooking something, whatever you do. So it's kind of cool. You guys did jump right in, and it didn't seem very like you weren't at all when I was telling you what you're doing. There was no like looks of what are we going to do? You were all just sort of nodding, and your all wheels were starting to turn as I was introducing the challenge. So that's always a good sign for me when I see that kind of reaction, and I try to prompt it by giving you a handle. So think of that as a creative thing. When you're trying to work on something creative in your space, and especially if you're trying to collaborate with other people, what's the handle we can all grab going, right? That's going to start. It doesn't finish. I still got to idea. I still got to work through the whole concept, but I've got something that gets us rolling. So we're not really just at the beginning, just looking at each other with blank stares. And you didn't do that. As soon as you turn around, you were going, you were throwing ideas. So that's a good thing. And I think this challenge illustrates that kind of thing of how do you frame up the challenge? How do you frame up the task if you're working on a project in a way that's going to get us some momentum right from the beginning? The framing of it is up to you a little bit at times. And if you do that right, you can have momentum. So anyway, that's a lesson I think about. And it seemed I was going for here by choosing a Thanksgiving thing, and it seemed to work. You guys jumped right on it. So excellent job. So that's it. That's our challenge for the day. If you guys got you got a few. I thought she was cheering for a minute there. Cheering for the other. We appreciate you doing it. As you're working in other groups, your classes. We love to play this game with students. We play with groups, with businesses, with nonprofits, different students. As I say, I tailor it to the student hand is, and we do discussion. Like just now, we did 3 minutes on the handle. I do that to varying degrees. Sometimes we just play the game, we're done, and we had a good time. Sometimes we'll talk about what we were thinking about there. We'll talk about what did you learn there. So if you think you're interested, let me know. Hit me up. I'd love to do it. I really enjoy doing it with college students and with college groups because I think you guys are in the mindset of being creative. You're forced to be collaborative every day in class, usually. I'm sure there's a lot of things you do solo, but you're also working with each other. So it's easy to get that rolling. So I like to do it that way. And I'm doing a lot of different projects around ODU. So happy to do more if you ever have it. So feel free to hit me up if you have any ideas. That's it. That's our game. We had some creative fun. Just a little group. You don't need a big group. Give a hand. Let's give a hand to our guest. Well done. Thanks for doing it, guys. Appreciate you playing. Thanks. That was fun.